everybody, my name is Mercedes Neighbors.
And my name is Fletcher Neighbors.
And we are the Neighbors family, and today we are going to be doing our 27-week update,
yes.
pregnancy update. So first things first, let's go ahead and get into the bump update. Check out my bumpity bump. It's harder to see because I'm wearing black, I feel like. But it's still very, very, very large. Ooh. Big bump. This is 27-week bump update. Okay, you're back from the bump update.
Yeah, I definitely am.
Because I've already pre-recorded the bump update. But anyways, next we're gonna do the app. So let me show y'all what's going on my What to Expect app. Okay, so I'm 27 weeks pregnant. Fletcher Jr. is as big as a cabbage. Oh my gosh, Fletcher. A cabbage. I know what a cabbage is. Like the size of a cabbage.
Really?
He's the size of a cabbage.
Oh, I love cabbage.
Anyways, he's about 14.5 inches long and 2 pounds. Fletcher, your baby's 2 pounds.
It's crazy.
Look at him. He's so large in there. Hold on. So large. That's how he looks in there. Oh, this is like the first time I feel like the What to Expect app is giving like some sort of belly on this app.
No.
Okay.
No.
Fletcher, are you paying attention?
Yes, I'm paying attention.
Earmuffs. Your baby can hear you, but know that it's muffled because the ears are still covered in vernix caseosa, that waxy protective coating on the skin. Baby got hiccups. If you're feeling unusual movements in your belly, it may be hiccups. As the baby's lungs continue to develop, chances of hiccups increase. So active. Your little gymnast has started to develop muscle tone from all that kicking, rolling, and punching he's doing. Ooh, that's why he be moving so dang much. Fletcher, are you gonna be able to focus?
I will be able to focus. Sorry, there's a cat right behind you. Probably see it.
Yeah, they can see it. See her.
Her.
She's not a... Symptoms. What are your symptoms been?
None.
What have my symptoms been? Oh, this has been a good week.
Not that many.
Mm-hmm.
Back to like a basic normal appetite.
Yeah.
And I think the main symptom is probably you wake up a lot in the middle of the night.
Oh my gosh, yes, how did I forget? Oh my gosh, every night I'm not able to sleep. It's like I'm waking up every single hour. It's like I lay down and I'm laying in my bed for 10 hours, but out of that 10 hours I'm getting like the 6 hours of sleep, and it's just very unbearable. And now not only am I waking up in the middle of the night, I'm waking up hungry. So like I turn to Fletcher and I'm like, I'm starving right now. Like I want to go back to sleep, but I am starving. So I'm gonna have to start keeping some snacks in here, which is good because we got the mini fridge.
Maybe your appetite's right back up.
That's probably what it is. My appetite is probably increasing now. Maybe that is what it is. But anyways, any other symptoms you've noticed?
Honestly,
I feel like the muscle cramp's gone. I had a little bit of belly pain, a little bit of back pain, but now I'm understanding. I can feel where he is kind of, and now I'm understanding more like when I'm getting that belly pain or that cervix pain, it's because he's literally like, I don't know if he's punching me, kicking me, or if he's shoving his head down there, but that's where the pain's coming from. And a lot of the times if I drink a Sprite, eat some sort of ice cream, or eat some sort of candy, he'll like move.
it's true.
Which is pretty cool. How has your life been?
All I really do is apply for jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And DoorDash. And Instacart. And that's what I do with my time. I usually just do Instacart and DoorDash, because Instacart and DoorDash is a great job to do when you're in the middle of jobs. The cons, first and foremost, you're using your own car. So there's wear and tear on your car. And you have to pay for gas, which if you were just driving 15 minutes to a work for 8 hours and drive 15 minutes back home, you wouldn't have that problem. But because you're always in your car, you have to get your oil changed a lot. You might have to get it serviced. You definitely have to get it serviced more often.
What's the thing about your car that makes...
I don't have any AC in my car. So I don't have any air conditioning in my car. It used to be there, but it's not there anymore. So I'd have to keep the windows down and that, but it's nice. That's the cons. In terms of like the pros, you can work whenever you want. You don't have a boss. You don't have to worry about anything. You work however much you want to work. So although you might make $15 to $20 an hour doing this, you could do 12-hour shifts and make $180, $190 a day if you want to.
And then the wear and tear in your car.
The wear and tear in your car, but that's the thing. We personally budget so that I have money, so that because
we're about to start budgeting.
Start budgeting so that we need like an oil change in that. So, yeah, that's the.
That's what's going on in your life?
Yeah.
Alright, what's going on in my life? One, work. I'm working Monday through Friday. I feel like I'm getting a little swamping myself with YouTube because I'm posting 4 videos a week, and then I'm posting trying to post 8 shorts a day, but like I said, I'm swamped. So I feel like I haven't been doing that, and it made me kind of sad a little bit. I have been trying to reach a goal of being on time. We weren't on time to church today, so I'm a little sad about that, but I think, you know, we can be on time to his grandma's event that we're going to today, and then I can be on time to work, because I feel like I should be getting 80 hours a week at work. I'm working full time. I mean, 80 hours bi-weekly. I'm working full time, but my paychecks are looking more like 50 hours or 77 hours, depending on if I don't come a day, and I am not for that. I want my pay stubs to say 80 hours, $20 an hour, 80 hours a week. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
So I'm making a goal of going to work each day, going to work on time, coming back from my break on time. And it's very hard for me because I just feel like my brain isn't wired that way. Like, I feel like I have a really bad time blindness. Like, it's so awful. So I'm gonna look into some methods of figuring out how to be on time, because I feel like the older I'm getting, the worse it's getting. Like, what's going on with my brain? Or maybe it's pregnancy. I don't know, but we'll see. I feel like I have to get this down packed now, because when I have a baby, it's gonna make it even harder to be on time to things.
Sure.
That's basically all.
We don't have this has been a pretty like
tame week.
Yeah.
Basically, we're just working. So unfortunately, we made a poor financial decision, and that part of that poor financial decision was me not going to work each day. And also, we really did not think about the fact that I didn't go to work for some days, and so we were real happy on our little 1,000 and so check, and we were just living life as if the next check was also going to be that high. And so we were very, very, very underprepared. So I'm going to talk more about that in the financial video, and talk about more of our goals financially and some of the mistakes that we made, and how we're not going to make those mistakes again. So stay tuned for that video, or it might already be out. This one comes out Saturday. I think it's already out, but yeah, if it's already out, you should go watch that. And then I also want to work on getting more member only videos out, but like I said, I'm kind of swamped. I'm behind on comments. There's a lot going on in life, and I really want to make YouTube my career, but I need to do better at time management. So that's the goal. Also, what's going on in our life together? What happened at church today?
You said it.
No, you say it.
You said it.
Why I gotta say it?
We went to church.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to say it.
Okay, just tell the story.
Oh, so...
Or you want to make a separate video to tell the story?
No, I'm not making a separate video. Okay, so long story short, we went to church. Said it was like, do you want to raise your hand? About...
No. What happened before that?
Okay, so basically there were trays that held like little cups, closed cups that had wine and also bread in it, basically symbolizing communion. And we were like, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and I was like, what is communion? Like, what does that even mean?
And then
I went up to the guy and I asked him, what's communion?
Well, he walked up to you.
No, he was standing there, and we were walking towards the door, and he spoke to us, and then we were just looking at the trays, like, and then I think he acted like, are we okay, or something like that. And I was like, well, I just don't know what this is. Like, and he was like, oh, it's communion. I was like, well, what's communion? And then he had asked us, like, if we believed in Jesus. We're like, yeah, we believe in Jesus. And he's like, are you saved? Like, have you proclaimed to be saved? Like, in public. And I'm like, no, I didn't know we had to do that. And he was like, okay, well, when you go in there and they say, like, do you want to be saved, raise your hand. And so we're like, okay. And then we walk in, and I'm ex Fletcher. I'm like, do you want to raise your hand? And then, how are you feeling?
No.
He's like, no.
I don't want to raise my hand. And then eventually, when I got to that point in the actual service, they were like, they want to have the thing like, if you want to accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior, raise your hand. And I don't even know why. Like, so in the moment, was just like, I'm gonna do it. So
and then he turned to me and he's like, raise your hand. And I'm like, oh, we're doing it?
So I raised my hand, and then the pastor, it's a pretty big church, so he looked out at us, which I didn't think he was going to be able to look at us. He
like, of all the people raising their hands.
So he looked out at us saying, he was like, God bless you. And usually that's all that happens. But because of that, I think it was probably because of the communion, he said, he spoke to someone named,
don't say their names.
Okay.
But
so
yeah, he
spoke to another man, said, oh, go bring them down here. So we kept our hands up, and the man just started walking closer and closer and closer.
And at this point, my hands start to sweat. My feet start to sweat because I'm like, what's going on? I thought we were just going to raise our hand. They say, God bless you, and we say, back that.
Yeah, and then we went. It was one of the longest walks I've ever been on. We were walking there. We walked down. We walked behind him. We went in front of the entire church of probably about 250 people.
It makes me so anxious thinking about it.
And then I thought that was it. I thought we were just going to sit there and they're going to say, God bless you, or whatever. Then the pastor walked person by person asking, what's your name? How old are you? Are you saved or do you want to be saved?
And at this point, I'm like,
and I was like,
Fletcher are holding hands.
What? No, your hands are sweating.
Because I'm nervous just talking about it.
No, but yeah. So I literally did not take my eyes off the floor, and instead he was just staring at the screen that was in the middle of the church.
I was sitting there like this at first, and then I was like, ooh, I look real weird looking like this.
So then eventually,
look at the screen.
So then eventually what happened was we all both said our names, how old we are, want to be saved, and then I thought that was going to be it. I thought they were going to pray over us. We sat back in the church. No, what we did is they told us to sit in the front 2 rows, which we haven't even been past. We were usually in the back rows because we're just like observing from afar. So we were just sitting out in the front rows. And I never even knew what the pastor looked like.
You know what was really funny is when we came to church today, I was like, you know what? We should move up 2 rows. Like,
yeah,
it's been a couple weeks. Let's move up 2 rows. Little did I know we'd end up in the front row by the end of the church service.
And then by the end of the church service, I was like, okay. So I thought again that they were going to pray for us, and then we were gonna go. But what happened was, it was almost like we just got taken into like oblivion, where all of a sudden they were like, come follow us. So when we started walking, all of a sudden they started guiding us towards wherever. I didn't know where we were supposed to go.
I was like,
we kept on following them. I was like, can we get our stuff? And then when we were walking to get our stuff, they followed us. So then we walked. They were like, oh, you got him? You got him? Yeah. And then they started walking us down a random hallway. I've never walked down before.
And I'm just like, what's going on?
And then they guided me into a place, motioned me to sit down, and we had this whole conversation about like being like actually like the actual membership, getting baptized and all that. Then
we filled out a form.
What being saved really means.
Yeah, we filled out a form, and then they like prayed with us, and they had us repeat some stuff, and then asked us if we wanted to get baptized, and we both checked off yes. And we were separate because they took him with the guys, and they took me with the girls.
I didn't even know where you went.
They didn't know we were married. I don't think it would have mattered anyway, but they didn't know we were married, so they were very shocked when it came down to the part of the paper asking for marital status, and for me they just assumed single, and I was like, no, I'm married.
Yeah.
And so it was just a very wholesome experience, and they gave me water. It was just very wholesome.
It was very wholesome.
Yeah.
So what's now
now we're gonna talk to FJ.
Okay.
What do you gotta say?
I have a real comment because I know you're gonna hear this when you're like 15, 16 years old. Sadie, stop moving. You're most likely gonna be like me. And if you don't know what that means, and you probably don't know what that means, then I'll probably make a separate video personally to like the actual channel.
About?
Yeah.
You want me to say it?
Not now.
Okay.
But you're probably gonna be like me, and you're probably gonna be extremely skeptical and logical. And the big thing about that is you have to give it a chance. Because I am still extremely skeptical and logical. That doesn't change. If you want to become a real Christian, that does not change. I grew up Jewish. I've gotten taught I could be whatever I want to be, but I still had people tell me that I have to be Jewish. So I think one of the most important things is as you're getting older and as
we're in her way.
As you're getting older and as you're actually learning about Christianity, give it a chance. And if you are confused about it, then that's completely normal. Just talk to us about it, and I'll tell you more stuff, maybe to make you feel better.
Yeah, so FJ, what I want to say to you is I'm working on myself, learning about myself, my mental health, and Fletcher's mental health, and what that means for our marriage, because it's very important to me that we be good parents to you, and in order to be good parents to you, we need to be good to each other in a healthy marriage. So I hope that we can be a good example to you, and that you want to get married to someone one day, and that you choose a wife who has good belief system, if you decide to be faithful and have Christianity, and you choose a wife who respects you and understands you. If you end up being like us and you choose someone who understands you and can understand when you struggle with something mentally and when your brain's not wired the same way, because that could be the case for you, more than likely.
More than likely. But
and yeah, like I said, we'll talk about that in another video about mental health and diagnoses. But for you, FJ, I just want to say to give yourself grace. Give yourself grace, because it's going to take you a while to learn about yourself. And it's going to take you a while to figure out who you are, and you're going to be confused, and you might be anxious, and you might be stressed, and you might get depressed, and you might feel some things, but just know that you can come and talk to us. And we've been there, and we are there right now, actually learning about ourselves and learning how to communicate and how to do all those things. I got several books because I got to learn about being a mother and learn about being a wife, and now learn how to be a Christian. So yeah, lots of life changes, and I just want you to know that life is never gonna feel, it's never gonna feel, well, it will feel stagnant at times, but I just feel like as soon as you get comfortable, something uncomfortable is gonna happen, and you gotta be like cool with change. You gotta be like cool with going with the flow, and I hope that we can be in some assistance to you when things get a little, woo, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I feel like that was good.
That was good.
I know you're just a baby now, but one day you're gonna be 19 and 20, so we'll see. Anyways, is there anything else you gotta say to FJ before we go? Alright, so thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you guys on my 28-week pregnancy update. High five. Whew. And now let's eat something.